every party you could win fantastic prizes, including LCD TVs, BlackBerry phones, cash prizes, soccer jerseys, and more. Get into the groove. The Star Win and Shine promo closes November 2nd. Star, shine on!
In life, we need help and support. To have the courage to face all challenges. To aspire to happiness. To dream about a better life. To share a wonderful moment. To believe in our potential. Titus sardines have been feeding us for almost 100 years. It offers us the strength for a better living. Life is better with Titus.
Progress. We all want it. But to succeed, we need energy. Which is why Shell companies in Nigeria and our partners are supplying domestic gas and generating electricity to power Nigerian homes and industries. Let's fuel progress together. Shell, let's go.
Sam went to the city with a dream. Welcome, said the city. I am the maker and breaker of dreams. I've come to make my name as a sign writer, said Sam. The city smiled. Sam made signs by day and he dreamed by night. One day, we met for a beer. I asked, how is the city treating you? It's looking up, he said. I raised my beer to him. Sam is like Guinness, made of more.
Welcome back to the news at 10. Over 900 youths in Osun State have been admitted into the Osun Rural Enterprise and Agriculture Program. Now, these youths joined 610 participants trained under the same program in 2012. The state governor, Rauf Aregbesola, says he is confident that the program will help eliminate hunger and unemployment in the state.
These potential farmers are all drawn from the Osun Youth Empowerment Scheme, also known as Oh Yes. They would be undergoing a 6-month intensive training in all areas of agriculture.
The Osun Enterprise Agriculture Program, ORIP, has been conceived and implemented as a deliberate policy towards empowering our youths and giving them a successful and sustainable career in agriculture.
In agriculture would translate to more food for the state and the country.
I am not forcing Nigeria. It's my Nigeria has oil money to spend forever. But the reality is that there might not be oil money in the next 10 years or so. So when there is no oil money to import food items, how do we feed ourselves? That is the question we must have as a challenge. If you are one of the few people that will bring Nigeria out of certain tragedy or famine, then it must have indeed.
Soft loans have been packaged for these trainees, expected to assist them commence full-time agriculture on their own.
Nigeria and Switzerland have agreed to provide better opportunities for Nigerian youths at home and abroad. Now, this is coming from the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who explained that both countries are working to deepen their diplomatic ties, especially in economic development. He was speaking at a diplomatic forum in Abuja.
An exchange program of this nature greatly adds value to enhancing cooperation and understanding between our two countries, and more so that we have shared values and we have global aspirations. The training exchange program came out of the realization that for young career diplomats to cope adequately well in discharging their duties against the background of recurrent and emerging global developments with attendant challenges, we need to fortify them with appropriate capacities. This is the raison d'etre for the 36+1 training program of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
First Bank, truly the first.
All right, we move on to business news now. Here's Adeshawa Josh. Adeshawa.
Well, good business news at this hour. The Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Extractive Industry and Transparency Initiative, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, has appealed to the federal government to increase its cash call requirement for the oil industry. Mrs. Ahmed, who spoke at a meeting of civil society groups on the petroleum industry bill, said the current 47% requirement provided by the federal government is grossly inadequate. She also stressed the need for transparency and accountability in the oil and gas sector.
What Naiti is saying is the country needs to be able to meet its cash call obligations. Currently, we're only able to meet our cash call obligations about 47%. And we end up going into all kinds of alternative funding arrangements, which means having the IOCs carry us as by way of loans, and then we pay them later using crude oil production. We've seen also during the course of our audits that we actually use funds that are supposed to be strictly used for cash calls for other purposes. And that predisposes us to more of these alternative funding arrangements. That needs to stop. We need to ensure that provisions that are made for cash calls are strictly used for cash calls.
EcoBank Transnational Incorporated, ETI, today responded to claims that it is under investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission over an alleged misstatement of its 2012 accounts. In a statement by its brand and communications officer, Mr. Badi Akpo, the Pan-African lender says its 2012 consolidated accounts were audited and certified independently by an international accountancy firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and published under International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS. It further stated that there was no allegation that its accounts were misstated and that EcoBank will continue to cooperate with regulators in its 34 African markets. The Asset Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON, said today it is seeking prospective investors to buy 100% of its shareholdings in enterprise banks. Well, in a notice made public today, AMCON stated that prospective buyers will be required to submit their bids by September the 20th and show evidence of financing capacity. Based on Enterprise Bank's 2012 audited accounts, the bank has 7 subsidiaries, 150 branches with total assets of 263.5 billion naira and a total equity of 31.9 billion naira. In July, AMCON appointed Citigroup, an Africa-focused investment bank, Vetiva Capital, to manage the investment. The naira weakened slightly against the US dollar on the interbank market today. This development followed the central bank's decision not to intervene in propping the currency as done in the previous trading session. The local currency closed at 163 naira 10 kobo to the dollar, compared with Friday's close of 162 naira 5 kobo, when the Apex Bank intervened for a mild recovery. At the official window, the central bank sold $285 million, less than the $300 million it initially offered the auction for 155 naira. Due to less dollar flow from the central bank, the interbank market has continued to substitute with less effective dollar flows from oil companies. And now the bulls staged a warm welcome for investors on the first trading day of the week at the Nigerian equities market after the bears dominated market activities last week. Now the all-share index is up by 0.27%. Here's Loretta Chogo with the details.
Hello and welcome to Stock Market Report. The Nigerian stock market opened the week this Monday on a very positive note. After the bears dominated market activities in the previous trading session, the bulls returned with an impact on the equities. The all-share index ended at